Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mermaid Maker Party. This is a event in collaboration with Jesse James Beats and Softflix Company. We both had kits that we are selling still to this day. There's still some left, not a lot, but a few. On both of our websites, you put the two kits together and you get 2 nights of mermaid making kicking off right now with my good friend Cassandra Spicer. She has a fantastic design she's going to be showing us, but I'm going to unbox the 2 kits first. If you want to join in on replay, you can still buy these kits at softflexcompany.com and jessejamesbeads.com as well. And it will be happening not only tonight with Cassandra, and I believe Wendy Whitman is coming up after Cassandra, but also tomorrow night we have 2 more designers all making from the same set of kits. And I know that doesn't seem as hard as it actually is.
Immediately, it's like, oh yes, but it is.
Yeah, because the designers have to piece apart the kits so that everyone out there can make exactly what they're making tonight if you want to. So if you have the kit, you can take it out and make along. I suggest you watch and then replay and make it later. And then maybe you can make some adjustments between one design to another to make it really uniquely your own. But if you want to make along, you totally can do that tonight as well. Sherry says, is there something fishy going on tonight?
Sherry, I like where your head's at.
I love it. So I'm going to open this kit first. Cassandra, if you want to start getting yourself ready over there. She will be taking us this beautiful necklace and a pair of beautiful mermaid earrings as well. Let me go full camera here. So here are the 2 kits, one coming from jessejamesbeads.com, one coming from softflexcompany.com. And I'm going to open them. I haven't opened them yet, so it'll have everything inside of it that you would get if you ordered these 2 kits yourself.
Now, Sarah, when I did my unboxing, I was talking about the fact that I am not capable of like getting a bag or package of beads in the mail and then leaving it until I do something like an unboxing. I unbox it, package it. Now you're making me look bad.
Oh, well, I have just been so busy with the end of school and the start of summer. I can barely keep my head on straight, let alone open anything extra early.
Well, I guess I can accept that, but still.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here what we got. I'm going to turn you up for me a little bit so I can hear you better. But I think you probably sound great to everyone else. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a fantastic show with beautiful beads. I totally agree.
I was not prepared for the puns, but I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. I love it. Thank you. Okay, so here is the Jesse James bead mix that you can get on the jessejamesbeads.com website. First up, we've got Ocean Waves, which has got these giant, beautiful crystals in it. It's also got a lot of gorgeous blues. Look at those green crystals. I just had one of those in one of our kits from bead mixes from Jesse James Beads, the Under the Sea bead mix. And I use that in the middle of my bracelet.
That bracelet's so cute, Sarah.
I'm just going to break it all open. Wow, these are
pro tip for everybody, because apparently I just don't have any impulse control, and I just tore into that package with my scissors. But these packages are resealable.
Oh my God, they're so nice. What in the heck? Beautiful Jesse James beads. Okay, so this mix is awesome. I'm kind of dying over these.
I know. I have plans for those crystals.
Ooh. Which mix did you get? You got the coral reef,
I'm
right?
working with the coral reef today, but Jesse James sent me a whole bag, so I have everything.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
It is.
Yeah, post pictures in VIB of anything you end up making.
Oh, yeah, I will for sure.
Love to see what ends up happening. So that was the very first mix, and that mix again was called Ocean Waves. Next, we're going to open up Coral Reef. This is the one that Cassandra will be using tonight. So the way we kind of break it up for the designers is we let them choose a bead mix and maybe a bead strand or some other special piece that is in the kit. And they get first dibs on that whole mix. So this is the mix that Cassandra picked. It's got a beautiful coral color. And then look at, it's got like mermaid tails.
And those mermaid tails have like a shimmer on the top of them, even though they look kind of transparent on camera.
Seashell. That's pretty. And then some seashell beads in there too.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for corals. So when I saw that, I was like, I have to have it.
Oh my gosh, look at these, just these two alone. Oh, pretty amazing. Okay, then we've got a really beautiful mix of sequins and seed beads in those two colors. It's called Sequins and Stardust. It's a bead shaker. And I imagine they probably have more of these on their website in other colors if you take a look. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess. We also have a bead strand called Seaworthy. Is that a gemstone on there?
They are. That blew my mind.
What?
There's some stones in that mix, the coral reef too, Sarah, the round ones.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Looks like agate maybe. I mean, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, let me put that in there. There was a huge strand called Treasures Untold. Treasures Untold. Look at that. That's pretty. The two colors, the duo of colors.
The duo of colors.
I love it. I love these two colors so much.
They look so good together.
They do. Yeah, I might have to free for all make and not just make what I feel like making.
Oh, you absolutely need to give people their options.
I get to mix and match. I don't have rules this time. Two pendants in here. There's this lovely, it looks almost like an abalone. I wonder if it's glass that is made to look like abalone. Maybe Jesse James Beads can jump in and talk a little bit about it in the chat.
If I had to guess, it looks like a really thin slice of abalone that has resin over it.
Wow, it's really pretty.
It's gorgeous.
You can still, as far as I know, get this bead kit at jessijamesbeads.com. And then look at this piece too. This piece you're using tonight, right, Cassandra?
I am, because I'm a sucker for a big acrylic pendant, and it looks like some shell or something, mother of pearlish.
It's really pretty. This does almost look like a mood ring. That would be amazing if it was. I'm like, is it? You never know. You never know with Jesse James Beads, Nancy. You never know what they'll come up with.
Tricks up their sleeves, huh?
Exactly. Lots of pretties to play with. Becky says she loves those beads. And Sherry says fishy tails are cool. Awesome. Yeah, this is going to be a ton of fun. We're just getting started tonight, and it will be going on both tonight and tomorrow night from 4 to 6 tonight on Pacific time. And then we'll be back again. Sarah James will be the host tomorrow night. I will be at a dress rehearsal for a dance recital with the ladies, probably pulling my hair out. but
dance mom.
I know, I cannot believe I have my dance mom. Only year though, they're doing gymnastics next year. So next year I get to be a gymnastics mom. We'll see how that goes.
I wonder what the difference is.
I don't know. I'll let you know. Hopefully, less time has to be spent. That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, Sarah, I would love to reassure you, but I don't know that.
I know, totally. Okay, so here's the Softflex kit. We have a full spool of 22 gauge non-tarnish silver plated Softflex craft wire. So this is a copper craft wire with a silver plating, and then it has a coating over the top of it to make it non-tarnish. You get a full 10 yards.
And fun fact, that 22 gauge is like my most used size in the craft wire.
Me too. Yeah, that's my go-to gauge.
Yeah.
Unless I'm doing like a wire wrapping piece that needs a thick and a thin, then I might do more like an 18 and a 26 or 24 or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. 22 is the one I mostly use. So that's why I usually throw it into these jewelry making party kits. We did a full trio of colors. This is our Serenity trio. Since day one, this has been our best selling trio. It has the turquoise, the fluorite, and the bone. This is 30 feet of Softflex beading wire in a medium diameter. I may be biased, but I happen to think it's the best little beading wire out there worldwide. And it comes in lots of different colors. So we're excited that you get 3 different colors to go along with this jewelry making party. Cassandra worked with us to make a custom seed bead mix. And I believe at least one, if not more than one of the designers will be using the seed bead mix in their design over the next 2 days. Are you using the bead mix at all?
Oddly enough, Sarah, I'm not, but it's because I couldn't resist that coral mix, and I felt like I was going to kind of stay more monochromatic. So I'm going to have
people were excited it was in there to use it though.
Oh,
so.
good. I'm going to play around with it, maybe with some of the other beads after the fact. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Awesome. Perfect. For findings, we put in 50 of the 2x2 millimeter Softflex crimp tubes in sterling silver. I tried to be really generous on the crimp tubes for this kit because we have 4 designers pulling from the same bag of crimps. And sometimes a Softflex design where you're anchoring beads in place can take up quite a few crimps. So we try to put in a lot, so there's plenty to go around for everybody's design. In the bag, we have something really special, and we'll be launching these on our website too. We don't have a ton of them left, but we custom made from an old tiara cast mold a sand castle. So these are exclusive right now to Softflex Company. Tiara Cast has not made them in a very long time. We went back in their archives and looked and found them, and I just thought they were so stinking adorable. So you get 3 of these custom created sand castles, and we will be launching a few more on the website. They didn't make it up this week because it was a crazy week, but we will get them up eventually, or into a live sale is a possibility too. We'll see how it all goes. But you'll get 3 of those in your kit. And then we always put in at least 4 lobster claws. So everyone gets a lobster claw if they're doing a necklace or a bracelet. And then 4 sets of ear wires, because a lot of times, as you can see with Cassandra's design, you automatically want to make a pair of earrings with your necklace or bracelet. It's just like you need a whole set. So we put in 4 pairs. So each of the designers have the option to make a pair of earrings if they want to. And each of the 4 designers get a closure if they need one. Often they don't need all 4 of them, but just in case, we've been doing that. So that's everything you end up getting between the 2 kits that we will be using over the next 2 nights. I'm so excited for this. I'm going to flip over to your camera, Cassandra, and you can keep going, letting us check out your design.
Fantastic. Well, I'm so glad you went get my necklace centered again. I'm so glad that you went over everything in the sets, Sarah, because I was totally missing the fact that you guys had those sandcastles custom made, and that's just like the coolest thing.
I know. Yeah, we've custom made a few things this year. We did a bunny this spring. That was adorable. And we have a couple more coming out with some of our upcoming kits that I've been working with them on. So it's just fun to kind of look back in their archives, see the molds of things that they've made in the past that they're no longer making, and then bring it back.
I love that journey for us.
Me too.
So I've just been over here fussing with getting my wires cut and ready to go. And I started a little bit of one of the ends of my project here, but let me go over the logistics of the project with you guys so you can kind of see what we're doing. And obviously, if you have ideas and want to modify in any way, people, all our merfolk out there, feel free to, make this your own. But I was really inspired by the idea that I'm seeing a lot of layered necklaces that are shorter. I used to be exclusively a very long necklace gal the last few years. And just recently I'm starting to enjoy something that sits a little bit higher on the collarbone again. So this is designed, again, like Sarah said, we were sharing materials amongst 4 designers in the kit. So I was really conscious of the quantity of the crimp beads I used and the amount of stringing material I used so that it was able to be split up if people were using the same colors and whatnot. And I only say all that to say that if you have extra of these materials in your stash, or you don't make all of the projects from people, you might be able to lengthen things, but I'll give you the counts on what I used just so that you know what you can get away with if you intend to make all of the projects this week. So I also would love to point out that I got mermaid nails for this week. Could not help myself.
I love your mermaid nails.
I felt very festive. It's like we're ready to party. So what I'm doing is at the back of this necklace, to lengthen the project a little bit. Thank you, Becky. And to give you a nice clasp area, I've got a few wire wrapped links, and I'll go over the wire wrap technique with you. But I highly recommend attaching things and making your wire wraps ahead of time and then attaching as you go. So I've got the lobster claw on there. It helps me from forgetting to put things on as I work. So I start off with 2 feet of wire, and the parts in the necklace I got through, I think, without adding any more, because I did the earrings just 5 minutes before the broadcast. I don't know how much I'll go through with those, but you should have more than enough on that generous spool from our friends at Softflex. So I'm going to start with an end of my wire, and we're just going to leave ourselves a somewhat generous portion on the end of the 2 feet and make that right angle bend. And then this is my messy gallery wrap. So I learned the gallery wrap when I started beading, and it was a very specific, defined, you made a very tight little same shaped loop each time, and then you did these neat little coils around your base, and that was something that needed to be very tidy and precise. And now it's I've found reverse freedom in just making those wraps as messy as my little heart desires. And I really love the look of it being a little bit more organic too. So now, once you've made one of your wraps, usually if there's not anything else going on, you would end up connecting, like, for instance, on this piece, I would connect the other end of that component to my lobster claw. But this piece on this side, I won't have anything else connected to it yet. I'm going to leave my other bead off until later just to save time in case we run out. Sara, are we going right up until 8 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah, so what will happen is we have until 5 o'clock, which is Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And then Wendy will be joining us, but there will be no rush.
Okay.
You know, when you're all finished, Wendy will come in and then we'll move on to the next designer for the evening. And then everyone gets a break till tomorrow. And we can't wait to see what you guys end up making.
I just like to make sure and pace myself so that I'm not like holding the train up.
Totally. Yes. About that.
So these are, get my camera knocked around there. These are 2 separate strands. I've got, actually, I'll separate them this way so that you can see. They're both connected to my clasp portion, but then this is just stringing. So I'm going to whip through this one and just share that process with you guys because I've got it set up in like little quadrants. So there's like sections of the different colors of beads in that coral mix. And that just felt like a fun way to organize those because I really love, I mean, some of these beads are so beautiful individually that I wanted to kind of highlight them in their own right. And then this strand with the pendant, which I've since discovered there's probably a much easier way to connect this seashell. So I think I'm going to try the easier way compared to what I did the first time. But you know how it goes. Like you start working on a design and you're not really sure where you're going to go with it at the beginning. So with this portion, I've got, so this section, sorry, I should go back. This section is on the bone wire, the beading wire, and it's probably about 18 inches long. And then this section, you're going to take about 30 inches of the beading wire and cut that in half because we're using a double piece of that fluorite on each side. And of course, again, you're welcome to change the colors around however you want to do it, depending on what you end up doing out of the other designs. But that is what I did. So we'll leave the pendant off until we get to that second section. But I was like, where did I pre-cut all my wire and then just lost track of it across the table there. So we will start by grabbing one of our crimp beads and one of our ends. I'm going to make sure I'm connecting in the right spots here for my project. And so I'm going through the end that does not have the lobster claw on it for this piece. And I'm just going to make sure and be very cautious with the amount of wire I leave behind since we are trying to utilize every last bit of our product in these kits for each designer. Normally, I'm the person that's cutting off like 6 inches of wire because I am just very liberal with the amount I use normally, but we're going to do our magic crimping and we won't get too close because Sara's the expert.
And I'll just be quietly in the background letting you.
So I personally trimmed right off at the crimp on these sections, or on this portion with the straight stringing. It's a little different since I doubled over the fluorite. And let's see. I initially added another crimp bead in that strong section because I wasn't certain how much of my cord would end up there, but I'm not going to include that in this portion because it's not necessary. And I think if you have a few extra crimp beads around, it's always better than like scrambling because you flub something up and then don't have enough crimp beads to finish your project. So you want to string this first. You've got these little gold end caps, and you want to string this first one on going that direction because it's going to sit on the ends of our beads. And I did that in the original design also to like continue to bring in those gold tones because the findings in the Softflex kits are all silver tone, and this coral mix has the gold in it, and I wanted you guys to see how easy it is to mix metals like that. So we've got our first set. So I'm working with these really fun, like, gosh, I would buy a whole like truckload of these coral faceted like coins. And then these little crackle, those little crackle beads look like a stone to me too, Sarah.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. Really pretty.
All the shades of coral.
Yeah. I should note on the Softflex Company website, if you have a kit in your cart and your order is over a certain dollar amount, you get $10 off your order at softflexcompany.com. That's good through next Tuesday.
That is a crazy good deal, guys. Go grab those kits. So we've got that little section of the, and right now they're sliding all the way up to our crimp bead just because I'm pushing them down, but there will be some space floating when we finish the necklace off, or that portion of the necklace. And then there's two different sizes of these little crystal rondelle spacers in your coral mix. And I just want to note the difference in what I'm using at any given point. I've got the smaller one here next, and you can do whatever order of beads you want to, but I like to be specific for those that are like, I want that exact replicated bracelet or necklace. And then beaded bead, I make beaded beads all the time, and I love that this beaded bead I can just string onto my wire because it's already put together for me. So lovely.
And it's so cute.
It is. And they're little pearls. They're little pearls to go with our underwater theme project.
I love it. They're so good at bead mixes.
Oh my gosh, yes. Super scrumptious little treats all thrown together here. And I'd also like to point out, if you're wanting to divvy up some of your beads, you could easily cut down on some of what you're stringing here and get a bracelet out of this mix as well. You could have like a shorter section strung through here and then make yourself a bracelet out of the mix, because with what I'm using, you've got extra beyond that, even if you make the earrings. So definitely take advantage of all those beads. So this section has those beautiful coral ovals, and then these fun little, oh gosh, they're like etched on the top and bottom near the holes. And then there's a smooth round section in the middle. So they've got a lot of fun texture on those beads. I'm not quite sure what shape they call them, but and to everyone out there that is sharing all the love in the comments, I so appreciate you guys being here with us tonight and watching as I fumble along with my necklace design.
You're doing great. It looks beautiful.
Thanks, Sarah. I think it always feels more fumbly on camera than it comes across, so that's nice.
It does. It's awkward to bead on camera. There's just no ifs, ors about it. It's always a little awkward, but it looks wonderful.
I'm also a very unsteady person. Like I did take art classes in college before I switched to be a business major. And I always felt like I was going to fail at that because I have such an unsteady hand. But, you know, you just do really short strokes with your pencil or your paintbrush. All right, so we've got that section done. And then this section where we've got another beaded bead, I've got these beautiful flat disc spacers in the gold. I just wanted to kind of differentiate between these sections to kind of, better highlight those beads. And then be careful when it's not hard, but it's also easy to like not do it straight through. When you string your little beaded bead on, little pro tip, you want to catch the holes that are straight across from each other.
That's a good point.
Just things I've learned along the way.
I decided while you're doing your necklace, I will make 2 little mermaid necklaces for my little mermaids.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I can give them to them after their dance recital.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Will be a perfect little summertime gift.
Yes, they will love that. So I do also want to point out to everyone, in my original necklace, there's like quite a bit of variation in this section. And in this necklace, it's going to be all very monochromatic because these are natural stones. So you guys are going to see some differences in those, but there's only 4 in your mix. So you'll be able to like hear and feel the difference between those and some of the other beads. And they're more of a matte finish. So I think you'll know when you hit those stones. And then these sweet they've got some fabulous crystally spacers in this mix. This is the other one I'm using between those stones. Oh, hit a little rough spot there. Just got a little bit of a plug in this hole. So if you guys run into this issue with a bead ever, as long as you're, oh, thanks so much, Kathy. As long as you're gentle and you don't like bust your bead. There we go. I totally unplugged it. There was just like a little resistance there, and I took the end of my wire. You can use a needle if you've got stiffer needles on hand. And that's an easy way to remount that hole so that you can continue to use all of the beads in your, and I mean, that happens to me with glass beads and stone beads all the time. It's a regular occurrence. Oh, Robin, well, now you just get to enjoy the videos, and when your supply kit arrives, you can relax and enjoy your beading time without feeling like you have to try to keep up with the live video, right? So I have so much mermaid themed stuff because on one of the previous bead cruises I was on, it was a mermaid themed party. So I made like earrings, and none of it went with my like coral theme for tonight. Didn't end up getting to utilize that this time around, but I've got one of those gold disc spacers again, and we're gonna throw on, look at this. Oh my gosh, sparkle factor. I had to use both of these. So it looks like it's clay with crystals set into it, but it's a little sparkly bead, and it's so beautiful.
I was just admiring that one and wishing that there were 2 more of them.
You could use that as your focal if you're making 2 mermaid necklaces, Sarah.
Yeah, right. Well, I use the mermaid tails as the focal.
Okay.
So I'll show you guys at the end. I'm just.
Oh yes, you have to share
right here.
And then, oh gosh, speaking of other things that I would have like hoarded out of the set, these gorgeous crystals are like some kind of angular asymmetrical shape, and they're so cool.
What shape is that? They're so pretty. I was just looking at those too.
Yeah, I never carried enough crystals to be so like in depth in my knowledge of like, I feel like I've seen that shape before, but it's a very unique one. So I'm using those and the little round coral. These are like a 4mm bead. A mermaid themed wedding. That sounds amazing, Ginger.
What? I'm going to read that comment.
Sorry. I'm like, oh.
Disney World. Oh, congratulations, Ginger. You got a new granddaughter in your family, and a mermaid one at that.
If you're going to have a wedding at Disney World, I feel like being mermaid themed is like almost a must.
I wonder how many weddings did they have at Disney World or Disneyland? Probably a ton.
Probably. All the princesses. I mean, isn't that like living out your dream?
Right. Like you probably get to get ready in the princess castle or something. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I've got
my daughters, they'll never stop talking about it.
I've got those 4 crystals on there with the spacers. And then I think I've got one of these little discs. Maybe it's a big one, but no. Those little crystal disc spacers. I've got one of those. I just needed like a little bit more beads to satisfy my like overall design. So that's this little short section is just an explanation for that. But then we've got one of those fun etched beads and threw another coral in there to kind of balance out the color with that. And then that etched bead. Hi, Jesse James.
Hi, Sarah James or Danielle, whoever it is. Everything's going to plan.
Oh, Sarah James, all heart.
I feel like mom's checking in. Going okay?
So I went through and did this, and I was distracted and didn't explain. This time I went the other direction through. So when I came through my end cap, I'm going, now this is the concave side, the part that caves in is the direction I'm going through that for the end there. And then to size this, you just want, if you don't have a whole nother necklace to go by, you're just going to pull the beads down your wire and make sure you've got it set to fit your neck. And you want to include the length that's added by all that section in the back, which you can do as little or as much of as you need to. So that's another point, is that you can make this short and have more wire wrapping in the back, or vice versa. And I just need to grab one more crimp bead. And I probably cut a little extra of this wire just out of habit. So you probably won't have that much left over, but
it's always better to have a little more than not enough.
Well, yes, Sarah, unless you're trying to be wary of your usage.
I do have a lifetime supply, so I don't have that concern usually.
Well, and yeah, that's normally me. So I'm probably a little wasteful and unintentionally normally. So I've got like an inch or so of space on each end. So I think just need to also work on camera as I work this out here. Sarah, are you guys experiencing any of this like smoke and like bad
No.
Air quality from the fires.
I keep reading about it, but no, are you experiencing it? Because you're in Michigan.
Yeah, Detroit is an hour from us, and Detroit is minutes away from Canada. So we are getting tons and tons of that.
Oh,
It doesn't seem to
so it's
be
all the way from like Rhode Island to Michigan?
Yeah, so I was interested to watch
Crazy.
like the morning news. They were talking about the whole East Coast, and then they just generically like clumped the Midwest together. But the air quality in Detroit is nearly as bad as in New York City right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if it travels over the water really easily.
I'm sure that's part of it for
Like
down
anything
and
that's
over.
Great Lakes up there is probably.
Yeah, yeah.
I know here we have water and it's just extra windy because the wind travels over from the ocean.
Okay.
Even though I'm not even really, I'm an hour away from the ocean, but
Oh wow, yeah.
the wind. Oh, Nancy did a little research. She said there are about 4,000 weddings each year across the Disney properties around the world.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing. They probably have like a whole team that just works on wedding stuff.
I bet they do.
Gail said that the smoke is affecting even North and South Carolina.
Oh wow.
And Lois said it's in Connecticut too. Oh, wow.
It's supposed to be clearing out soon, though, like within the next
Oh,
day or
that's
so,
good.
I think, for the US at least. So that's good news.
Nancy says that's really pretty, and Sarah James agrees. She's just loving your necklace with all those beautiful Jesse James beads.
Thank you, everybody. So far, so good. We're halfway through, so the next part goes really quick because the beads are minimal on there. And I'm going to leave the connecting bead and not worry about attaching the clasp together to make the necklace whole yet, because it'll be a lot easier to work along if we're not doing that. So I'm going to move this out of the way for now, and we'll focus on this portion. And I was explaining earlier, we've got a more convoluted attachment of that charm there because I had to use that adorable, like resin looking shell charm, but it really is going to be easier the way that I'm going to instruct it tonight. So you'll see a little difference in the two, like the look of them, and I'll explain what I did in the first one, but it's not really necessary. Trying to make it, what is it? Work smarter, not harder is the saying.
I'm always looking to work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Which is why we work through these things first for you guys. So you don't have to like struggle with some stuff that we do.
You can learn from us. Yes.
Oh, thanks, Diana. Oh, you guys are going to make me all verklempt. So I've got that like roughly 15-inch section of my wire here in the fluorite, and I'm actually going to wait to put my crimp bead on because I'm going to go through the and there is a slight difference. I don't know if there's really a front and a back, but you guys might notice a difference in your pendant side. So you do you can be mindful of that when you attach your charm, because that creates your front. But I just go through both of those pieces at the holes there, and then I'm gonna try to kind of even up the ends of my wire, and I'll pull everything so that it's doubled over relatively equally.
It's looking wonderful.
Thank you. So then when you bring your crimp bead down, you don't want to get like way close because you'll kind of warp the way that your pieces hang, but you know, we've got a decent closeness with our crimp bead there. And then, gosh, the magic crimper, like, can we not say enough good things when it comes to a design like this? And I really wanted to like show off the color of that wire because I do love so much how Jessie James took their kits or the bead mixes and strands and mixed together those corals and the teals and things. So it just felt like it needed to happen in the necklace, even if I was only working with the coral beads. And if people had extra of their bead shakers or their seed bead mixes from you, Sara, this would be an excellent portion of the design. You could sprinkle those in here and it would be wonderful and totally Cassandra approved.
A little color.
Yeah, a little extra texture, but I mean, the simplicity of it is really lovely too.
Mm-hmm.
And I am taking the beads that I'm using in this part and only stringing them onto one of my strands. So they are floating and kind of held between those two pieces of soft flux when I put the next crimp bead on. And again, crimp bead goes over both strands for now. And I've got probably 1.5 inches between those two crimp beads, but I was not consistent with like the spacing between, like I was similar between those first 3 and then the last one's all the way up at the top edge. So
I'm loving your idea, Ginger. She says she's going to flip the focal and make a cluster of beads to hang from the bottom. That's going to look awesome. I hope you take a picture and post it into VIB and the Jessie James Secret Stash group so that we can all see.
That sounds so good. And that was one of my original concepts was to hang like fringe with the soft flux off the bottom of this. But then when I got everything in front of me, it kind of started to morph into something new.
Right. It's funny how designs work that way.
Oh, yeah.
Start with something in your head, and then as you're going, you're like, oh, but wait. I like this.
Then I had so many of these small, awesome coral spacers left that also tied so well into the amount of the oval beads seemed like they were the same material and color as these. And I used so many of them in my other strand that I felt like utilizing these few beads really mimicked the colors and the kind of idea of the first strand without it being overwhelming.
Pretty. It's amazing how far one mix can go, let alone having 2 full mixes, 2 full bead strands, 2 seed bead mixes. These kits go a long ways, and they're going to give you a lot of fun summary designs to either keep for yourself or sell or share with family and friends. Oh, sorry about that.
I can't wait to see what the other designers do with their projects.
Hopefully my alarm doesn't keep going off every 5 minutes now.
Oh, no. That won't make me anxious at all, Sara.
Oh, man. I normally am at dance class right now. It's an alarm reminding me because I usually am doing work emails while they're in class, and it's an alarm reminding me that one of them's getting out of class.
Ah. Gotcha.
I think you have to tap on it to turn it off. If you just scroll it away, it'll snooze it. But if I tap on it, then I might lose my camera. So maybe I'll shut this camera down for now.
to finish off the doubled strand, I'm using one of my favorite tips from our friends at Softflex, and probably specifically Sara. And that involves, I've got my crimp in the exact position that I want it, and it's over the 2 strands still, but then I'm going to grab the end of my necklace where I want to attach this end of this strand, and I take one of those pieces through my attachment point, and then I'm going to take that end and go back down through the crimp. So that is the way for sure to end a double strand of the beading wire. And then just make sure you hold your crimp in place of where you measured for your necklace. And, because as you pull your strands, it can slide if you don't, kind of be cautious of that a little bit. And then just keep everything out of your way while you get your magic set on there. And then you just have to carefully trim both of your strings that remain from your beading wire without catching your crimp bead or your wires that need to remain behind. And I like to find, I don't know about you guys, but I look for the source of like where the wire is exiting the crimp, and then get to that side of my work and really get down there. It allows me, I think, to be less apt to cut other wires, but it also gives a nice close trim. Sara, do you want me to share that earring? Do you want me to finish off this other side of this necklace? What do you think would be best for all of our friends out there?
Why don't you finish off the other side of the necklace? They can see that completely. And then what do you think about doing a reel for your earring? Would that be
perfect? I would love to do that.
And we'll share it. So you can do it on your Beads to Live By Instagram page, right?
Yeah, that's probably really the only place people could access a reel from me.
Yeah, and we will share it too. So if you're not following Beads to Live By on Instagram, this is your chance. Go over there and follow them, and look for that reel coming up maybe in the next few days. We won't make any hefty
promises. I can probably manage to squeak that out in the next couple of days, though. Thank you for being conscientious of that.
You are a small business owner. I completely understand. Do things on the flip of a dime, but I think that would work well. And then some people can check out your Instagram.
Perfect. And then we are just going to take that second 15-ish inch section of the beading wire and the fluorite, and we're going back through both of the tops of the acrylic and the kind of enameled looking component charm there. And then you want to double that over. So get your ends kind of matched up there. And then we'll get our first crimp bead on. It's so nice to work along now that I know what I'm using, Sara, because as I was designing, I'm like, okay, 12 crimp beads or less. What can I do? I knew I wanted to space some beads out and show this wire off, which, like you said, it can like start to eat up your crimps a little bit.
Yep. Wendy Whitman will be coming up, so stick around. Even if we're watching the very end of Cassandra's necklace, we have a whole other project left today. So make sure you keep us on your device. I am stringing seed beads over here.
Oh. I can't wait to see. I'm over here mangling my beads. So. It's that, like, I hold it away from my face far enough to have it on camera issue, and then I'm like, I can't see what I'm doing. You guys will not struggle as much. You're all experts at this. So
make sure you wear your glasses, though, if you have glasses. Because the same issue happens with no glasses.
Oh, yes. People will come into the store, especially when we're holding classes in person. And it always cracks me up. I went to TJ Maxx finally, and years went by before I wised up and did this, and bought like a whole package of readers or cheater glasses, because people would come in for class. They're like, oh, I forgot my glasses. I'm like, if you can't see, how are you going to bead, Brenda? Like,
it's an important detail, right?
Maybe other than your beads and your body, that's like the only other thing you really need for beads class, right?
Right. Eyes, for sure.
Eyes.
Yeah, and it's notable for me right now because I'm stringing seed beads. So glad I have my glasses on.
I'm so happy. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the difference real quick because we're so close to being done. This, I wire wrapped the shell onto that pendant, and everything looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It turned out better than I would have expected considering how little wire work I usually do. And this one we did as demoed, where we just went through with our wires, and it really gives it a little more finished, a little less chaotic look, in my opinion. So I'm happy with that change there for sure.
I like it.
And anytime we can make it a little easier on you guys, that's the goal.
This is a great design. I'm most excited about the clasp section. We'll definitely use that.
Well, thank you, Sarah.
That was Ginger, actually.
Oh, sorry. I just thought you were saying that. I didn't realize you were reading.
I'm reading.
Thank you, Ginger. I'm so glad.
Thank you for sharing this. Thank you to everybody who shares and likes this video. That really means a lot to us. We put a lot of effort and energy into all of the videos that we make, but especially these parties where we're collaborating with multiple designers and putting together multiple kits that have to go together and coming up with the theme. And it's a lot of work. We love doing it, but we really appreciate it when you guys like and share our video and let us know that it's worth the time and the energy.
Yes, I absolutely mirror Sarah's sentiment when it comes to those things. And I want to just quickly note, once you get that first strand of this part of the necklace done, doing the second side is a lot easier because you can just hold your work up and space your crimps according to your first side. So that's a real easy way to measure at that point.
And again, we'll have Wendy coming up here soon as we close out the hour.
So top of the necklace, we're going to add our last bead on this fluorite strand before we get that crimp on. And you're going to get your other bead strand all untangled, and you're going to put your connected strands off to the side. And you want to be a little mindful of like how everything is sitting on that side, because when you go to bring this other strand, your last connected portion, it's gonna kind of matter. So like getting everything all laid out is good for you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, but it's also good when you are working to do this as well.
I love using the Craftwire link as a connection piece. That's so smart.
I had to look up at the screen and
that was me saying it. Yeah. That was me. I feel like I have a different voice when I'm reading. I guess I felt like it comes out
a little bit. But I think when you're being thoughtful, it also comes across that way. So I was like, oh, I have to check it out.
Oh man.
Well, and what's funny about that, Sara, is it was really obvious to me that necessity is the mother of all invention. So when and I do this for myself as a designer, even when I'm not working like within somebody else's constraints, I love to limit the amount of supplies that I have available to work with because it forces me to like narrow down my work more quickly. And so because I was like, okay, I only have so many beads, I only have whatever else going on, and I could not get past like I'm making a necklace. That was just like a thing. So that caused me to, okay, what can I do to give myself that extra room that I need without using up too much of the other supplies? So
And we're getting close to the closure. Is that right, Cassandra?
Yep. This is the end other than the same technique I already used. So you can see once you connect your pieces at the ends of those coral kind of stone looking beads, then all you have left is you do the same wire wrap technique. And this depends on the length you want your necklace. You might not need to add that second bead, or you might add, like several beads to make a little more of a chain on the back side. But yeah, that's it. And then you're done after you get that second side crimped on and lengthen your chain accordingly.
What a great design. I'm going to add Wendy in now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm really done.
Wendy is ready to join us. Give me a thumbs up, Wendy, and I will add you into the screen.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
Doing great.
It's nice to meet you, Wendy.
Nice to meet you.
Let me shift up. I'm super excited to see what you're making because it's almost a secret. I haven't gotten to see it
yet. Well, it's very simple. I just did a quick and easy little necklace design. So yeah, I just wanted to keep it simple and show the wire, and yeah, so quick and easy.
Awesome. Where are you tuning in from, Wendy? I forget where you live.
I am in Deltona, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
See, I don't know why I thought that. Awesome. So you're probably not getting a lot of smoke. Then you're enough.
No smoke. Who's getting smoke?
I was gonna say she probably doesn't even know what we're talking about.
Everybody up in the north, from Michigan to Connecticut and Rhode Island, apparently.
Oh, really?
There's
some bad fires.
Oh, wow. Okay. That shows how much I watch the news.
I know. I feel you.
Sanity that way.
It's been a busy week, though. I've had my 14-year-old niece and my younger son here this week, so I haven't had a chance to do much of anything.
Well, that's exciting, though. It's always visitors.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Well, Cassandra, thank you so much for lending your beautiful design aesthetic to us today and showing us your beautiful necklace. If you want to see a full picture of Cassandra's necklace, you can go to the Softlex Company Instagram page, or like I said, go follow Cassandra at Beads to Live By on Instagram as well. That will be a fantastic place to see the earrings that match the necklace that she made, and within the next couple of days. And also just follow her in general for all of her beautiful designs that she shares on a regular basis.
Sara, I love that necklace that you've been working on in secret.
Oh yeah. It's turning out pretty good. I'll flip to that before we head over to Wendy. But thank you so much, Cassandra. We really appreciate you. And we will see you again soon.
Yes, thank you for having me. And thank you to both Softflex and Jesse James Beads for the beautiful bead sets and findings and wire. It was a pleasure to work with.
It's always fun to work with pretty beads, right? It's like, if you're gonna
always.
Beads, okay. I'll take it.
Yep.
All right. See you next time. Bye, Cassandra.
Bye, guys.
Okay, let's head her out. And I've been working on, I have 2 little girls and they have a dance recital this weekend. So I took the same bead mix that Cassandra was using, and I have been making matching little mermaid tail necklaces.
That is adorable.
We'll package those up in a little bag and give that to them on Sunday when they do their last recital.
Oh, how
3
sweet.
of them this weekend.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of crazy. Like, that's a lot of recitals. So they're going to need a treat at the end for sure.
Oh, that's so cute. They'll love those.
Awesome. Well, Wendy, thank you for being here with us. I haven't seen you in ages. I think you did maybe one of our first jewelry making parties. And it was quite some time ago. So we're really happy that you're back. And we're excited to see what you're going to make. Should I switch down to your screen?
Sure. Yeah, I can put it over here. It's just a really simple. I wanted to do something kind of really simple just to show off this gorgeous pendant and the wire colors. I just thought the wire was so pretty. The 3 colors, and then to combine it with this pendant with the abalone shell it just matched perfectly. So I just wanted to do a simple little stringing project. So that's kind of what we're heading into this evening.
A little light necklace in the summer feels so good when it's hot. And if you live somewhere humid, especially, having that little light necklace can feel really good. You know what I was thinking, looking at this, that same wire without the pendant would make a really beautiful wrap bracelet too.
It sure would.
Did a long one of it and made it into a wrap bracelet. So that's another idea to explore too. Okay, I'm going to go radio silent and turn it over to you, Wendy.
Okay, don't go too silent. That makes me nervous.
Okay, I'll be here in the background.
Okay. Well, what we're using today is we're using all 3 colors. So we've got I always have to read them. I can never remember what the colors are. They're always named so creatively on here. The turquoise, the fluorite, and I think this one was bone. Yes. And so we're using all 3 pieces, and I've just cut it's totally up to your own preference, how long you want this to be. For me, I usually do necklaces like this just to kind of hang around my collarbone. So I do maybe 18 inches, 20 inches, something like that. So you can cut that however you want it to be as far as the length goes. So we're using that. We are using the beautiful, I thought this pendant was so pretty. Look at that, just gorgeous. And each one's different. They're just so cool. But look at the difference in those. So pretty.
Now, Sarah James, we were wondering what that pendant is made out of. Is it glass?
She said abalone shell, I believe.
Abalone? It's so see-through.
I know.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Love that. And then I used the shaker, the Sequins and Stardust bead shaker. I'm using 6 of these bigger sequins out of here. I think I have 7. I think 2 are stuck together. No, maybe not. And then you can you can do it however you want to do it. If you have the shaker, you can use any of these beads, but there are so many in here. We're just using very, very few of them, but there's so much to choose from. You've got these really cute little flowers and the bugle beads. So just a ton of different options there. Using a lobster clasp, and I'm using 6 of the crimps. And then these are just some 12 millimeter jump rings that I pulled out just to clasp our lobster onto and all that, and the wire onto. So that's really all you need, and your jewelry tools, of course. So this is super simple. I just really, when I saw the beads, they were so just light and airy, the colors, that I kind of thought about, if you go out on the beach, you want to wear something that's not heavy, but this would be really pretty out on the beach or the boardwalk or, anywhere around a beachy type place that you go. So if you're blessed enough to be at the beach, this would be easy to wear. So all we're going to do to start with is we're just going to crimp these wires. So I just take it. It's super simple. The way that I'm crimping, I'm just putting my crimp bead on like this. And then I'm going around my jump ring, back through the crimp bead, and just making a little loop with the wire. I love this wire. It's so flexible and the colors are so pretty that I just wanted to show it off a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then I'm just going to crimp it. So I'm just going to get in there and just crimp it right closed. And I'm doing that with all 3 pieces of the wire. And then I just trim it off right up to the crimp. You don't really have to worry. It's a firm connection there. You don't have to worry about anything coming undone. And I just trim it right off like that. Okay. And I'm doing that with all 3 pieces. So same thing with the bone colored one. I put the bone in the middle of the turquoise and the fluorite. You can do it however you want, but I just kind of liked it with the 2 blues on the outside, or the blue and green on the outside, and the bone in the middle.
This is our all-time best-selling trio.
Really, I believe it.
This trio. Yeah, since the very beginning, everybody has loved this color combination.
It is pretty, really pretty. It's just like I said, the colors are so light and airy. It just makes you think summer. Summer, beach, all that. It gives the vibes.
For sure.
So I'm just going ahead and doing this. It would help if I didn't crimp upside down. I was like, that doesn't look right. There's a reason. Upside down. There we go. Okay. And then, again, just trim it off right up to the crimp. I've been saying for months, I've got to get new wire cutters. I don't know. Everybody talks about how to sharpen them, and I don't think that you can. I mean, I've heard people say cut aluminum foil with them. I've heard people say all different kinds of things, but I've been saying for months now on my videos, my wire cutters are dull. I've got to get
very hard, and it can tear the nylon coating off and unbundle a wire.
Really?
Using a cutter that isn't sharp enough. I was just talking to a customer about this the other day. It's important, but it's also very hard to find a pair of cutters that will last for a long time because it is stainless steel wire. So it eats through some cutters pretty quickly.
Well, that actually makes me feel better because I've gone through so many pairs of cutters and I'm like, why is this happening? I mean, what am I doing wrong with these? So that makes me feel better. It's not necessarily me. It's the good wire.
It's not you. It's the good wire.
Awesome. Yep. All right. So now that we have our 3 little pieces on here, what we're going to do is we're just going to put a few beads on each one. So you can do this however you want to do it. How did I end up? I wanted the bone in the middle. There we go. So you can do this however you want. I wanted to keep it kind of minimal. Just like I said, I was trying to keep everything kind of with a light and airy kind of look. So I'm just taking, a couple here. I'm going to put just 2 or 3 on each strand. And I'm just kind of mixing the blue and the orange. As we get down closer to the pendant, I tried to keep more blue showing down here. I did put a little bit of the orange in there, but I just like the blue showing down there closer to the abalone. It goes really pretty with it. So when you have a couple beads on each one, then I'm just going to pull them together, all 3 of them together. I'm going to line up my ends, and I am going to put all 3 strands through this larger sequin. And they will all 3 go through there. So I just stick all 3 strands through there and scoot it up. And that pulls them all together and just kind of holds everything. You know, they'll slide a little bit, but they're still kind of spread out on your strands. And we're going to do that the whole way down through here until we get to the middle where we're going to hang our pendant. And you can crisscross them. I kind of like to crisscross them a little bit, like not keep them all. If you can see on this one, they're just kind of crossing each other in several places and kind of like that organic look a little bit.
What a smart way to pull those wires together. I love that.
Thanks.
I thought you crimped it, but you didn't even crimp it. It's just one of those fun sequins.
Yeah, you can just use your little sequins and it goes right through all 3 strands. I was really glad when I figured that out because
right?
I was trying to figure out a way to do to give kind of the floating look without using too many crimps. And that worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you. And so I'm just doing the same thing for this second little section here. And you can do as many sections as you want. You can make them, you know, you could scoot the sequins up and make them really short little sections, or you can do them longer. There's a lot of options with this kit. I love the beads in these kits. They're so pretty. Beads,
There's
the wire.
so beads in this kit. I really, these are my colors too, like beachy colors. Oh,
me too.
Love it.
Yeah, my 14-year-old niece, like I said, she was here this last week, and we went to the beach every single day. That's what she wanted to do. So that's what we did. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, she had a good time, I think.
There's just something about being near water, wherever it is. It is refreshing.
Yeah, it really is. And it's just, I love to pick up the shells. That's one thing that I use them in other projects, you know, crafting kind of things. And so I got a lot of shells this week. It was fun. She had a good time.
Treasure hunting.
Yeah, there's always treasure out there.
I feel like this is so timely too, with the Little Mermaid coming out just recently. Here we are, mermaid making too.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see that one.
Yeah, my daughters have definitely been getting all over me about it, but we haven't had time yet. We had to get through school at the end of school here.
Yeah, I understand. Yes. And so school is out for them, I guess, now. Are they finished?
Yes. Yeah. School is out, but we're in this weird week where we still have some school things happening, like dance isn't quite over, but we've started summer things like skateboard camp and swim lessons. So
Oh, okay.
There's no school, but we're very busy still. But next week it all really slows down, which will be nice.
Yeah, that is nice. I remember that feeling of total freedom that last day of school. That bell rings and you're like, oh, I'm free. You know, it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually homeschool, so I feel that feeling too.
Yes, I bet you do.
Oh my gosh, finally we're done.
All right, so we've got 3. When you have 3 of these big ones on, now that's pretty much going to be close to our middle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm not using any of the sequins or the bugle beads. I'm just using the little seed beads. And I'm using more blue than orange, but I am going to use a couple of the orange. And I'm just going to put a couple on each strand, 2 or 3 or 4, however many you want to. I'm just trying to keep it real simple around this pendant because it is just gorgeous. And I wanted to really showcase it because it's so pretty.
I imagine pictures can't even do justice to that pendant. So
I'm
you hold it
telling
up in the light and really see.
you.
And it would make great earrings if you had 2 of them.
It's beautiful.
You probably sell them on the website individually, I would imagine. Or you can get 2 kits, but they'd make fantastic earrings.
I am going to take it and just put all 3 strands through the little veil on it. Just like that. And by just putting this through there and the sequins through here, it just kind of holds everything together, but yet it lets it kind of float too. The beads float, the wire kind of floats a little bit, and it's just held together in a few places by the sequins and the pendant.
I feel like I could see Ariel wearing it right now.
Well, that would be awesome. I'd be a famous designer, and Softflex would have a wire in the Disney movie. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes. Everyone would be very happy.
Yeah, and Ariel would look beautiful, right?
Exactly.
Could go for that. Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. I see some new people are joining us. We're so excited that you're here. We are doing a 2-night jewelry making party with a mermaid theme. And this is our second of 4 designers working from the same double set of kits. One from Softflex Company with the supplies and one from Jesse James Beads with some beads and jewelry making components.
Okay, so now we're going to start up the other side. I do not, you can if you want to, but I do not mirror it. I just let it, I'm just picking up different beads, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to put the same things on this side that I did over here. So you absolutely could if you wanted to, but I'm just trying to keep it kind of organic and simple. And I just took my seed bead right back off of there. Okay, here we go. So where in California are you, Sarah? Are you in California?
Yeah, I'm in the Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
So I am just north of the Carquinez Strait, which is a waterway that runs into the San Francisco Bay.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's really, really quite lovely here. I've lived here for about 5 or 6 years now.
Oh.
Before that, I lived in Arizona.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I lived in California for 4 years, and we lived in Stockton, but when we drove there, we drove cross country to get there, of course, and I remember we got there in February, and it was so beautiful. Everything was so green. We went through this valley with all these windmills. It was just so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
By, like, I don't know, 3 weeks later, if it did not have a sprinkler on it, it was dead. Yeah, we were like, wow, we thought it was just so lush and green and beautiful. And then we were like, wait a minute. But
yeah, no, yeah, it's the rain is just like one season, and then there's no rain whatsoever for a long time.
Yeah, it was so pretty though when we drove out there in that valley that had, I don't even know where that was, but it had just these gorgeous windmills, big white. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's, I think, Southern California, a little more south from us.
Okay.
Yes, I know. It's so pretty down there.
Yeah,
we
lived in Stockton, which
gorgeous.
I did visit San Francisco a couple times, though, the Bay Area. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went
I
and
love
saw all
it.
the sea lions on the docks. It was fun.
Whenever my friends and family tell me the temperature in Arizona during the summer, I am more than grateful.
Yeah.
Where I spent most of my life in those Arizona summers, and they are brutal. So really, really, really lovely. Although my children are freezing at their swimming lessons, so like, nope, it's worth it.
That's funny. You don't think of California as being freezing anywhere, you know?
No, but it's such a huge state. It's
Mhm.
very diverse in its like weather and temperatures.
Oh, that's like Florida too, I guess. You know, southern, it's so much hotter even than the north, than Jacksonville, those areas up there. But yeah, everybody's like, it's a dry heat or it's a wet heat, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, it's hot. You know, it doesn't really matter if it's dry or wet. It's hot.
No. Yeah, totally. Yeah, when my husband used to do the lawn work in Arizona, it would be like 115 degrees.
Yes.
He'd be like, it doesn't matter if it's dry. It doesn't matter. It's really hot.
It is really hot. Yes. Yeah. My ex-husband, I was married to him when we lived out there, and he worked on a lumber yard. And you know, the blacktop out there, and his boots the soles of his boots would melt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, it gets pretty hot, right?
It was so hot. All right. So we've got both sides here, and I'm just going to scoot everything up just a little because I'm just trying to even it out, make sure that the pendant's in the middle. You can adjust it around however you want it to be. And then we're just going to do the same thing on this side with our crimping. And look at these sequins. There's little sequins and seed beads everywhere. There we go.
Your worst problems to have.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So we're just going to do the same thing. Crimp right onto one of these little, you can use any jump rings that you have. You don't even have to use a jump ring. You can use just a regular, you know, closed ring, but this is all I had. So that's why we're going with this. And some people may not like the mixed metal. I don't know. I love mixing metals. And I thought this was such a pretty light gold that the silver lobster and everything looked just fine with it. It's not that macaroni and cheese gold. It's the light, real pretty. So I was good with that, with mixing the silver with it. I've been totally into that lately for some reason, mixing metals. I love to do it. It's so much fun.
It looks really good if you do it right. Sometimes I'm like, I didn't do that quite right. But when you do it right, it looks so pretty.
Yes, I have those moments too, a lot actually. I'm like, that did not come out like I wanted it to.
Right? We all have those moments.
We do.
Even your favorite designers on your live videos, they have those moments too, everybody.
Oh my goodness, yes. It's awful sometimes. And you're in front of all these people. It's like everything goes bad on video for some reason. Every time I'm filming, I mean, I can sit there, even though I'm just by myself, you know, I can sit here and make the perfect piece of jewelry and then go to film it, and everything that can possibly go wrong does while I'm filming. Always that way.
And I know. And it's very hard. Cassandra and I were saying it's just very hard to bead such small things on screen and not have them close to your face. That alone is a challenge.
Yes, it definitely is. Especially as you get older and you need reading.
Yep, that's me.
Me too. All right. So we are just crimping these closed. It's super easy. This would be very easy to make a bracelet out of as well.
I think a wrap bracelet would be
Mhm.
so fun, and it'd be so light and just comfortable to wear.
Yeah, that would be really pretty.
It's a great way to use up some of your bead soup too. You know, if you're okay with it being asymmetrical, you can
Mhm.
just take some random beads and slide them in there too. When you're all done, maybe with all your projects after this week, take what's left and make yourself a wrap bracelet with the same technique.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be cute. And then I am just going to go ahead. I'm going to hook my lobster over here on this one just by itself. And then on the other one, I'm going to hook a couple of extra rings. I always like to do an extender just because even if I'm wearing it, keeping it, you know, and not even selling it, I like to do an extender definitely if I'm selling things because you just never know, you know, who's going to get it. But even with my own stuff, I kind of like to do an extender because it depends on if you wear, you know, a top with a round neck or a top with a V-neck, or it's just always nice to have that little option there. I think to go a little bit longer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Really smart. Brenda's saying an anklet would be cute too.
Oh, definitely. It sure would. Yeah, sure would. And you could hang an anklet even, like you could hang some of these down from it, like make some little dangles. That would be super cute all the way around it. Like a little cha-cha kind of thing almost.
Cute.
Yeah, but this is it. It's so simple. And I just had the feeling of just something light and breezy. And this is what came to mind. So, but so quick and easy. You can braid these even if you want to. If you wanted to twist them and braid them, whatever you would like to do with the wires. I did that on this one a little bit, but I really kind of like the way that they kind of crisscross on their own. You know, you don't really have to do a whole lot to them. But yeah, I just thought it was so beachy, and maybe Ariel will see it and want the necklace, right? I
hope so too. It's so beachy, such a fun design, easy to wear. You could even do layers of it if you wanted to do 3 strands.
Sure.
You know, layer those up and maybe just have the pendant from the bottom strand. Like I said, a wrap bracelet. I could also see this working as an earring, like a round circle earring where you crimp at the top. I think that could be a really fun design to test out too. But you guys get to now take this idea and run with it. You can either make that same design that Wendy made or make your own version of it. And please post it into the Softflex VIB and the Jesse James Secret Stash Facebook groups so that we can see what you're making with those same materials.
Yes, I want to see what everybody makes. I think it's so interesting to see how different designers take the exact same things and change it up so much. You know, it's just really interesting to see how that's done.
I love it. It's like my favorite thing about, I'm going to come to everything here. It's like my favorite thing about kits, especially like the mystery kits that we do that have the Jesse James bead mixes in it, or these jewelry making party kits. I love to see the variety of things that people end up making with the same supply of beads.
Yeah.
You know, for example, Cassandra's necklace looked completely different than my little girl necklaces.
Yes.
I basically
love those.
similar supplies. I only used the bead mix that she had chosen, and then that really nice little seed bead mix that came in the Softflex supply kit. So it's fun. It's fun to see everyone's creativity, you know, come to life.
Yes. And there's so many options. I mean, the other beads that were in these kits, you know, they just look at that. They all matched so perfectly together. I just
that That would be a perfect bracelet to match
Yeah, that, or I didn't even open. I hadn't taken this one out of the thing because I knew that I wasn't using it. I'm like, I'm not going to even take it out because I'm not going to use it. It's too hard not to. But look at how well. I mean, it all just goes together so beautifully.
It's
There's
true.
so much you could do. I mean, you could sit here and just make endless combinations of beautiful things. So
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. So you can still get these 2 kits. You can get the Softflex kit as we have Damien posting in the background. Get the Softflex kit on the Softflex company website. That will have all of your supplies, your beading wire, your craft wire. It will have some of the components that are being used as well, like these really sweet sandcastles from Tierra Cast that are exclusive to Softflex right now, or the seed bead mix. There's a lot of different things in it. And then the bead mix that has the majority of the beads that are being used is from jessiejamesbeads.com. And I'm going to look for their link here too. And you can find that on their website, and still get that kit too. And then everything we do today and tomorrow is available on replay. So if you want to go back and rewatch any of the designs that we do, pause it, do a little bit, pause it, put your questions into the comment section. We'll still be monitoring those too. You can always come back and replay anytime. We keep all of our videos up long term, so it'll always be here as long as YouTube and Facebook exist. It'll be up here for you. I know, Robin, you keep saying you're waiting on the Softflex company supply kit. If you ordered it a while ago and haven't received it, make sure you email info@softflexcompany.com. If you ordered it recently and it hasn't gotten to you, I hope it comes soon. But if it's an issue, make sure you reach out to us so that we can solve your issue as soon as possible. Anything else to add, Wendy? Do you have a regular time slot where you're making jewelry, or what are you up to on a regular week?
Well, I don't have anything set that I do like, a certain day of the week. I just try to put out a lot of videos. I haven't done that so much the last couple of weeks because, like I said, I had Lainey and Landon here, and then I went home the week before that and visited my family in West Virginia. So it's just been a very busy summer. And since we moved to Florida, everybody's coming to visit. So not that I don't like it, I do. But my nephew will be here next week, and then my older son comes in July. It's just been busy. But I try to keep up with the videos at least, do a couple of weeks. So that's kind of my main thing is really.
Are you putting them on your YouTube channel?
Yes.
So, and the name of your YouTube channel is A Bead on a Wire?
Well, it's just Wendy Whitman. Yeah, it's just under my name. Yeah, just Wendy Whitman. Yeah.
Okay, so I want you guys to go over to YouTube. I see Damien is grabbing that link right now. Follow Wendy on her YouTube channel for more lovely designs from her on the regular. And she'll be busy this summer, but she will continually be adding things there. And if you subscribe to her channel, then you'll get notifications when there's a new video that uploads. And that'll be fun. So tonight is over, but we still have tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be joined with hostess Sara James. And then we will have 2 designers tomorrow night. We have Tricia, and then our 4th designer. Why are they escaping? Oh, Deb.
Deb.
Oh, beautiful Deb. Deb will be joining us as well. And that will be happening tomorrow starting at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can find it on both Softflex Company and Jessie James Beads YouTube and Facebook pages, and in 4 locations. So lots of spaces to locate us. Thank you, Robin. I'm wearing a piece that I think I got in Tucson, and it's just like a sterling silver, almost like an octopus. And I just was like, oh, it's beach day. So I'm going to wear this thing I got like 20 years ago that's been sitting in my jewelry box forever. So thank you for that sweet comment. We look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Please join in and make sure you grab your kits if you haven't yet. On the Softflex Company website, you get $10 off with a kit in your order, and it can be this kit or any of our other kits too. On orders over $59, I believe is the deal. And I haven't looked at the Jesse James Beads website, but they always have fantastic deals going on. So make sure you check out their homepage and see what wonderful deal they are offering this week as well. Thank you so much for being here, Wendy.
Oh, thank you so much to Softflex and Jesse James Beads for having me. It's always fun. Always
I love your design. You're such a calming energy. I feel like I just went to the beach with you.
Oh, great. Good.
And I hope everybody out there feels that way too.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.